Hi, Peter Charles here. Today I'd like to talk about street photography, specifically the type of gear I'm using and some problems I've had over the years, and things that might affect your decision if you want to get into street photography and buy gear, or buy some new gear for doing street work. So let's get into it. Okay, when I first got into street photography, it was about 1981, 1982, somewhere around there. And of course the camera was manual, the exposure was manual, the focusing was manual, so there was no thinking involved there. I just used what was available. Today, we've got all these autofocus options and auto exposure and all that kind of good stuff. Cameras that practically take the picture by themselves and mail it to you. So, if you're going to get into street photography, or if you've been dabbling in it for a while, what are your gear choices and what are some things to think about? Well, first off, let's talk about the style of street photography. If you're the type that, likes to stick a camera in somebody's face and take a picture, it really doesn't matter what you use. I mean, you can use anything and it's going to work because you're not trying to be subtle. You're not noticed. You're being noticed. Take your picture. But if you're the more subtle type who want to take pictures without being noticed, then the gear becomes a little bit trickier to buy and to assess what you need. Now, when I first got my first digital autofocus camera, was a Fujifilm X-E1 with the 35mm f1.4 lens. Now, if you know anything about that gear, the autofocus was slow and it was noisy. And as a consequence, I would end up with missed shots because the action had gone by, it already happened and left before the camera responded. Also, all the noise that thing was making, people were turning and looking because they could hear the camera noise. That's not very good. So if you're trying to be subtle, you don't want your camera going whir, buzz, whir, buzz, whir, buzz. So I moved, same camera, but I moved to using Voigtlander lenses, specifically the 25 and the 40. And I used these were the M-mount style, and I used an adapter for it. And that worked fine. I was quite happy with the results, and I got much better results. I'll put one of my first ones up on the screen for you to have a look at. Very happy with the results I got out of that. And I stayed basically doing that kind of street photography with that kind of gear. I later got two X100s. I got the T and later the V. Now, I did try to use the T on autofocus for a while, and I'll put up a picture where the autofocus was accurate, but slow. What was happening in this photo is the woman was trying to feed the man a piece of dessert. He didn't see it coming, and he reacted like, and I pressed the button. I wanted that picture. But by the time the autofocus did its thing, he had composed his face. The picture was gone. I mean, it was only there for a fraction of a second. If it had been a manual camera, I would have got the shot. But with the autofocus, I didn't. This kind of thing that kept happening to me made me realize I had to stay with with manual focus. And when you're talking about the X100s, the manual focus, you're really stuck with basically setting your focus at one spot and living with it. Because trying to manual focus that whirly ring is just not up for it. I later got an X100 V, which was a lot better with autofocus, but still not quite that quick. So I still went back to manual focus, even with that. These days, as I say, I started off with an X-E1 and later an X Pro 1, and I used those Voigtlander lenses on it. Now I've got an X Pro 3, and I've got these 5 Voigtlander lenses. The ones I tend to use the most are the 27 and the 35. I will use the others from time to time. But I'm totally relying on manual focus, and I don't bother with trying to use any autofocus at all, and I just set my focus at what I think the distance is going to be, let's say 10 feet or 15 feet, and I'm just using the depth of field in there to capture, because I'm working around f8, f11 all of the time. So I've got lots of depth of field to work with. So I'm just guessing the focus and setting it. And that's one of the nice things with manual focus rings. You can actually see you're focusing quite well. So I will set that up and I'll go out and I'll shoot, and I do quite well with it. I get vast majority of my shots are technically acceptable. I only got the odd one or two that'll be off. However, having said all of that, and you can see my gear, I picked up this XE5 with the 23mm. That's a great little street camera right there. From its size and the lens and everything else, it's a great kit. However, I'm still not sure whether the autofocus will keep up, whether I will still have to go to manual focus. So I just got this camera, so I hadn't had a chance to really take it out very much. But hopefully, as the weather warms up, as the winter fades, I'll get out with this camera and I'll see if I can get some shots with it. We'll see if it will produce good results on full auto, or at least on partial auto, partially auto exposure. Autofocus is really what I'm talking about with this lens. Is it fast enough? Is it quick enough? I still don't think it will be. I still think I'm going to end up going back to my X Pro 3 here, my Voigtlanders. But it'll be interesting to see if this lovely little job will keep up. And I mean, I obviously could put the Voigtlanders on this if I wanted to. I mean, nothing would stop me. It would work out just fine. But that's what I'm thinking about right now. I'm going to wrestle with that in the spring and see how it goes. Frankly, I think I'm going to be back to my manual focus gear, but it would be nice to have autofocus. Now, one of the things I've set up this camera for is I have one of my custom settings arranged for exactly the way I like to set up autofocus for street, which is I use a large square box for the focus area for tracking. And I put, as I say, I put tracking on, but I customize it so it's a sticky tracking. It's relatively fast, but sticky. And I also set it up so I'm focusing on a front subject. I don't let the camera make a decision. I say, pick the one that's in front. And this camera, for my test so far, does a good job of that. So we're going to see if I get, I don't miss shots like I did with that picture of the man and the woman, the piece of food. Do I miss shots because the camera is a little on the slow side? And the other thing, does it focus on the right person? That's what I'm going to be checking. So come the spring, when we get some decent weather and people are out in the streets again, we'll give this a whirl and we'll see if it can replace all of this. Somehow I don't think so, but we'll give it a shot. So stay tuned. Maybe around May, June, I should be able to get that out there. And we'll see if the XE5 and this lens can do a great job as a street camera. Cheers.